what it is, they say when you finally leave the flesh, you take your last breath, you enter into this place called the Barzak. That's in Sufic physics. And I don't know, the Quran talks about how you go to your own funeral. And if you lived a life with an open heart chakra, when they bury you in the grave, you stay, I guess, a couple of days there, and the spirits of the grave begin to communicate with you. So they say, tell your family members that you don't want to be buried next to a stranger, because if you're buried next to a stranger and they haven't left this realm, if they're trapped in the astral grid, then you might have to deal with that negative energy until you get up out of here. Now, I'm not saying that this is literal. This is just a belief of that Sufic Islam tier of whatever they left behind as metaphysical information. So we don't know if that's real or not. But of course, if I was buried, I would tell them to put me next to my father or whoever my family member is, so I wouldn't have to deal with that. So we have to begin to think about that now. And they say after a couple of days after the funeral, hundreds of angels come to receive you. So they're not really angels, there's really light particles in the quantum realm. They come to you, and if you were the king or queen, if you had the open heart chakra, you live on earth as the king and the queen, then you become engulfed by the light of these quantum light particles, and you fuse yourself into that entourage of light particles. And they say this is when Ta'ala, which means a convoy of light comprised, brings you up into the interspace of realities. And that's what the Barzak is. In the theosophy, in the occult world, the Barzak is called the Metaphysics. You said, what about cremation? What I hear about cremation, I heard cremation isn't good. I'll tell you why. The Egyptians were mummifying the bodies because they found out the metaphysical secret of how to get past the archons. Now, the secret is that you have to traverse these metaphysical realms while you're in the physical body, because if you don't traverse the realms, let's just say you live a life believing so much in this economic system, political system, religious system, that you don't do no spiritual exercises, you just stuff your face with food, you engage with human activities, and then you just leave the body one day, and you never ever meditated, you never did no inside mental exercises, didn't build no mental temples, nothing. What happens is it's kind of like a bag being blown by the wind. You look outside, you might see a bag floating around. That's how your spirit's going to be in the spirit realm. And because you don't have no control over your Merkaba, you don't have any consciousness that you built in this realm going into the next of how to access your Merkaba and travel this thing properly. What happens is the archons come down and they swallow you up and they spit you back in a body quickly, because you didn't do what was necessary. So they decide your fate for you, which is probably reincarnation. So to put in a nutshell, the cremation, from what I heard, makes you reincarnate faster on the planet. Is there any questions about that?
Can you say that one more time, please?
What part?
The ending.
Cremation.
Yes.
Makes you reincarnate quicker.
Oh, okay.
See, the body needs a process of breaking down. The process of breaking down, the Egyptians knew you were trying to trick the archons so you could slide back into universe B, the Sirius planes. You need about, I would say, a month, because a month in the time of the spirit is probably a couple of minutes. But you need some time for you to find the black sun, which is where you're supposed to converge with that light particle convoy. So you need time to get there. If you burn your body up, the process, see, the soul stays attached to the body for a period of time. I'm just talking the intermediary levels. We're speaking about the metaphysics of death right here. If you're a master, if you're an ascendant master or whatever these people are called, you just leave the body. Matter of fact, you just control really when you die. You leave when you want to. And when you finally leave, your soul, remember I spoke to you about the Yakita. The soul is compartmentalized. There's a part of the soul that's like a UFO. They call it the HGA, the Holy Guardian Angel, but it's literally a invisible quanta of the soul that floats above you in the skies. Wherever you go, it follows you. And that's where the
tractor beam.
That tractor beam comes out of the Yakita, the highest part of your soul. So it's not literally a UFO coming to get you. Your soul is coming to get you. And it brings the lower portions of the soul back into the high, and then you zoom off into hyperspace and you go to another multidimensional reality where you aren't a human. So there are other bodies of you as probably alien forms. Allow the body to break down long enough so you can traverse the Duat, go through the land of Amenta, and get back to the black sun so you can converge. The black sun itself is the body of the Yakita. It's a part of the body, it's a network. And that's the whole Nibiru. Nibiru is the black sun. All of that shit is the same thing. And you converge back into it. You're broken up in parts right now. You converge yourself back into it, and you're able to permanently leave reincarnation.